for what you've done to make this marvelous field possible. The coaches, the student athletes, parents, friends of Cornell softball who multiply every week. Of course, the athletic staff, and especially the donors. Before performing my scheduled role, I want to recognize 4 special people. First, Lori Swanson, assistant coach. Second, Judy Blood, wife of the head coach. Third, Tom Brenna, team faculty advisor. And finally, the person who really pulled all the pieces together, donned a hard hat along with Wendy Field, wrote all the equipment, and that's Pat Graham, the man who makes all this possible, our facilities manager. Now I would like to introduce the head coach, Dick Dancer Blood, who has been at the very center of this remarkable team and its new facility, the Niemand Robison Field. Please welcome Coach Blood.
I've been waiting to say this for a while. Good morning and welcome to Niemand Robison softball field. Before I really get started here, I'd like to call out last year's graduating class to hang the banner for the 1997 ECAC champion Cornell Big Red softball team. They're going to hang the banner on the wall, on the fence. I'll take a moment to thank Chris Crooker. Chris, raise your hand there. Chris has done a fabulous job in putting together last night and today. Just a beautiful orchestration. Wonderfully done. Last night went smoothly. For those of you that had a chance to come to the festivities last night at the Robison Hall of Fame room, we had a beautiful buffet type of dinner and an easy mixer get-together for roughly 100 people. It was just a great opportunity for our young people to get to meet some of the faculty and staff and the donors. It was a great opportunity and very well done, Chris. Thank you. Osio and Stephanie Riggins are going to share a little gift from the players to our donors, if they do that right now. There are balls autographed by the entire team on a small plaque. We started with a hill about 7 or 8 feet higher than where we stand at the moment, and a pasture for cattle and years ago, and for horses to graze through. And with an awful lot of work of regrading and compacting and regrading and compacting, we came up with a level surface. After some many hours of red tape with the town, who was most cooperative in determining where we could locate a field and determining where the sun would come up and set so that the sun wouldn't be in anybody's eyes, we've located this beautiful spot, which for me is really special in that it's not just an open football field or an open pasture or an open area. We're, as you can see, bordered by trees, by buildings, and more trees in the background. So it really is a great setup and a great setting, for a softball complex. And it is a softball-only complex, which is also kind of special as well. I wanted to share for a few moments today some of the technical aspects of the field, so you might gain a better appreciation of what we had to deal with here. And yes, I'd also like to echo those accolades to Pat Graham, who oversaw the entire project. Thank you very much, Pat. Pat said to me today, he says, just get us 2 wins today. I said, we'll do our best. Below the field, which is probably actually 3 feet lower than the ground on which we stand, starts the incredible drainage package with what they call slit drainage or whatnot. That there are drains and tiles that run across the field to perimeter drains that take the water out to the swale or stream beyond the right field fence. If we were going to have a field built here in Ithaca, the weather isn't always as nice as it was yesterday. And so we had to have a super drainage package. Rather than fencing, rather than dugouts, rather than a mic system, we needed a super drainage package and sod to hold that. And the the soil was all compacted, the trenches were set in place, and so far so good. When we come here after some heavy rains and had no puddling whatsoever, the drainage seems to be working. Today, we will do our absolute best to bring home a crown this year. Thank you. Now I'm the MC. I'd like to introduce one of our tri-captains, Senior Stephanie Riggins from Kirtland, Washington.
Hi. I'm supposed to talk about what this field means to me personally, and you're gonna have to excuse the waterworks if they start coming. But I think that for everyone that's here, it means a little something different. This is just very special to me, and this whole experience, my 4 years at Cornell, have really they have just really taught me to appreciate everything that I have and every opportunity that has been given to me. Okay. Sorry. I want to try and go along with what I had rehearsed here today. Just merely the fact that I was able to come to Cornell. I went to an average high school, suburban America in Washington State, and I went to a school where counselors guided people towards community college. They guided them towards just the state colleges, and so for me to be able to come here, it was really special. It's across the country, it's an incredible institution, and I never even imagined that I would even have this opportunity. And so I really cherish that, and I really appreciate that. And then if I look at the people that have sent me here, like my mom who's in the back, she's worked so hard to send me here, and she's worked so hard, and just every single cent she earns goes to me attending this incredible school. She joined us in Florida this year when I didn't think she was going to be able to make it to any of our into any of our games, and then she made the special trip again to come watch me here, and I just am so appreciative of her, and I just appreciate all that. And now as I get ready to graduate from school, I'm going to be living out here. I'm going to be 2,000 miles away from home, and it just makes me cherish every single minute that I have with her, even though she calls me every day and like, hi mom, you know. But I cherish that because I know that there are some people that don't have that relationship with their parents, and I don't know if the time that I see her may be the last time that I see her. So it's really taught me to appreciate her, and this field is just another thing that I cherish. We all know some of the history of the program. We know that there was a time where we used to work every single concession, We used to work every single concession for every single football game. There would be days where we would do football in the morning, hockey at night, and we would raise all this money so that we could have, nice equipment. We could bring in these great recruits, and it was all part of developing the program. We used to have to travel in vans, not the olden days.
Horse and buggy.
In the earlier days of the program, they had to travel around in vans. Now we're fortunate enough to have Ralph as our bus driver. He's a wonderful guy. He's here with us today. So we have that opportunity. And then as some people know, we used to play at beautiful Lansing Fields just north of Ithaca. I did 25 minutes from campus, and that used to be where we had to play. And now we have this incredible facility. And it's just, I just look at it, and it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And it is just an incredible thing to have, and it has really taught me to appreciate some of the things that we do have, because there are teams that don't have that, and there are people that used to play here that didn't have the same opportunity. And as we look down the line, and as this program develops and becomes an Ivy League powerhouse and a nationwide powerhouse, I I just know that they're going to cherish this. I hope they cherish this, because this is really a momentous occasion, and it means a lot. So for me, this has just been 4 years of learning how to appreciate what I have, appreciating my teammates, my best friends at Cornell, and it's just a very special occasion for me. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephanie Rigg. Well done. Few universities are blessed with great academic leaders who set the tone for values and culture across the campus and care so passionately about athletics. Cornell is fortunate to have Hunter Rollins, graduate of Haverford College and Princeton University, classicist, basketball and baseball star, might have even played softball if you had a chance, had a field, wrestling aficionado, golfer, squasher, and Cornell softball's #1 fan. Please welcome President Rollins.
Thank you very much, Charlie. I just want to say that's a very tough act to follow, and I appreciate everything that Stephanie said, and I think it does indicate to all of us what this field means to the players. And the players are the most important people here, because that's why we do this, that's why we do these jobs. We believe in our students, we believe in our athletes, and you can see how much they give back. I've been fortunate enough to find a little time to come out here a couple of times this spring and watch part of that 22-game winning streak. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun to watch a team that's got this much verve, plays with this much commitment, and this much teamwork. And you can see how much they like each other, depend on each other, and how much that means in terms of their productivity. But let me tell you that when I got here 3 years ago to Cornell, it wasn't like this. As Stephanie said, and as everyone else knows, we didn't have this kind of facility. And I remember my first exposure to the softball program. I would sit or stand at football games on nice, cool fall days like this one. And up at the top of the stands, there were these students who would be serving hot chocolate, hot coffee, and anything else hot we could get our hands on. And these students kept saying, you know, it's nice you're here at the football game, but I wish you'd come out to a softball game. And this happened time and time again, and I kept saying, why do they keep telling me this? And one of these students in particular kept introducing herself, kept saying who she was, kept saying, you remember me, President Rawlings? And each time I would say, your name is Mary, or no, my name is Wendy. Wendy Field, remember that, President Rawlings? And then I would come back 2 weeks later, and there'd be another game, and she'd say, remember me? And I would work at it, and I would say, Susan, no, Wendy, President Rawlings. And I would say, that's right, you're the pitcher on the softball team. No, President Rawlings, I'm the catcher on the softball team. Well, it took 2 years for me to figure all of this out. And I'm happy to say this year, finally, I've gotten out to games. I've really enjoyed these games. Charlie's right, I'm an old baseball player, a very old baseball player at this point. But I love baseball and I love softball. And if you want to come out and really enjoy yourself, you come out to one of these softball games. It is a total amount of fun. And I said to Hal Kraft, our vice president, just this past week, you have a big problem. And he said, what's that? I said, you need some parking out there near the softball field, because that is going to become one of the most popular places in Ithaca. And he said, come on. And I said, you just come out there next weekend and you will see. So we're going to have to now deal with the next problem, which is the parking to take care of the fans who come to watch this team, as well as the tennis teams. And that is, I think, a great kind of problem to have. That's what we call a high-class problem. So we're going to solve that problem, because to get everybody here who wants to come, we're going to need more and more and more parking places. But that's a great kind of problem to deal with. This is a lot of fun for me, because I believe in college athletics, as Charlie said. I think it's one of the great parts of coming to college. I think it's one of the great things at Cornell that we've got athletic programs where our students are students and athletes. And that's why we root for them. as hard as we do. So Wendy, I know your name, I know your position, and I enjoy watching you and all your teammates play. And I want to say to the donors who made this possible, this is just a fantastic opportunity. And I've known Arno Niemann almost since I got here, when I first heard about him as a wrestler at Cornell. And I'll tell you someday a story about what Arno did just 2 years ago, which was broadcast over NPR as I was driving to work. Well, I'll just tell you very quickly, because it's a great story. I know you're cold, but you've got to listen to this story. I was driving into the office my first few months here at Cornell, and I was listening to NPR as usual, and they had a story about a man who had been jumped by an assailant the previous day, by a young assailant. This was a 55 or 60-year-old man, and the assailant was 20 years old and leaped on him in order to steal his money, knocked him down, and unbeknownst to the assailant, this 55, 60-year-old man was a former college wrestler. And he reversed him, got him in a half Nelson, held him down on the ground, and then somebody called the police. And the assailant was saying, "Somebody get this man off me." And then at the end of the story, it says the man's name is Arno Niemann. He's a former wrestler at Cornell University. Well, I wrote him a note, and I said, "I don't know you yet, but I can't wait to meet you." And here we are this afternoon. Arno Niemann is giving his name and his support to this field. And I just love that, because across the country, as you know, wrestling is somewhat of an endangered sport for various reasons. At Cornell, wrestling is alive and well, and softball is alive and well, because a former wrestler is supporting softball. Now, is that a great story or what? That is a great story. We also have the President's Council of Cornell Women, who stepped up to the plate, so to speak, and who decided they were going to support this program and made that an objective, a goal, and you're going to hear about that in a few minutes, but we're very grateful to them for taking on this challenge and saying that's one of the things we want to support for women at Cornell. It's a great group. It's a terrific amount of energy and commitment, and now they're behind this program as well, and they have given to this program in a major way. And of course, the Robison. We all know about the tremendous history and tradition of the Robison Fund, the Robison family here at Cornell, and they have lent their name to this facility. So to me, this is what college athletics and this is what college academics are all about, and I absolutely love it, and I challenge any other university in the country to find the marriage of softball and wrestling that we have found at Cornell. Thank you very much.
He didn't take me down. And I'm about 64 years old, so this is really exciting. I'll tell you, it's hard to say no to Coach Blood. I can tell you that. He is a very enthusiastic guy and just a marvelous human being. I'd like to thank Hunter and Charlie and especially Coach Blood for putting this all together. I think I should mention the fact I should mention the crew that actually built this field. I know that a lot of our team was out here on this guy's case every day, making sure that he did this. But the contractor and the people at Cornell who were monitoring this project really did a terrific job. I think as it's my understanding that as these projects go, and there are always fits and starts, that this was one of the better projects that we've had here, and I'm just delighted to be here and with all my friends from the wrestling and now the softball community, and I know we're going to pull this off. Coach Blood promised me 4 for 4 here this weekend, so I have no doubt about that.
Now we're going to see if a wrestler can pitch.
Starting on the mound today is Arno P. Niemann, Jr. from the class of 1956. This right-hander from Boulder, Colorado has been perfect in every appearance for the Big Red. Of course, catching that first pitch, that strike right over the middle of the plate, was Wendy Thiel, the senior track captain on this year's squad.
As we close this celebration, I would like to invite Jan Rock Zubero, Martha Coltrap, Jim Wendy Field, and Arno Neiman to join, when we get the team there, to join President Rawlings and me for a group picture with the team and its coaches. At this time, as they're starting to assemble, let me also say that a barbecue is being served in the luncheon on the tent. On your way to the tent, please take the time to inspect the donor stone monument, where the cover has now been removed to display a plaque and our great gratitude to the lead donors. We'll all gather together for a festive luncheon to continue the special spirit of today and get ready for the second pitch at 1:30, Dartmouth versus Cornell.
You got pictures.
I got pictures of everything. You catching that last
Marty, how do you... She had all of us Hey, Dick. How are you? Thank you. Great program.
Whatever I can serve. I'm only going to have
I don't know, your big thing dad doesn't have a hat on.
hear when they said that Jim and Wendy feel?
What?
His wife's name is Wendy, but it's Wendy Proud.
Wendy what? Oh, his wife, President Rawlings' wife?
No, that's
Right over there.
Susan? Mary?
All right, here.
All right, let's do it.
Wait, we should look.
We'll never tell. It's
It cracked right before we left. It does.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause it's like a trampoline. It's like a little one roll. It's like a trampoline, but it's bounces to the other one.
Yeah, all right. I got a little more eligibility left. Oh boy, it's been a long time.
Sign him up.
Boy, that makes you want to play against these guys.
All the way from California.
Great nice nice to see you. Yeah, the weather permits. Of course, it's been rainy. But just remember, we had one game. One game. One game to play. Forget the other game.
We gotta do it this year.
We're gonna beat Dartmouth in the first game. Right?
Yes. I wonder if Dartmouth is in
You need to win that game.
A couple of the coaches were there last night, you know.
Right, yeah, because Coach was friends with them
Coach,
from New Hampshire. That's my brother.
I know, I met him. I met him. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. That's great. Well, congratulations. Great looking scoreboard out there, too.